Good morning, boys. Yesterday we completed some hybridization. There is sp, sp2 and sp3 with example. So in case of sp3, methane and ethane molecules shape already we completed. There are some more examples, that is water molecule and ammonia molecule. So now we are discussing those molecules along, that is with respect to hybridization. Now I am starting here from sp3 onwards. See, sp3 hybridization. In this sp3 hybridization, the shape is tetrahedral. General bond angle is 109 degrees, 28 minutes. So S percentage is 25% and P percentage is 75%. So now there are certain examples. So the first one is methane molecule, already completed. Second one is ethane molecule, C2H6, this one also completed. In our syllabus, third one is ammonia molecule and fourth one is water molecule. Ammonia molecule, water molecule. Now our topic is, what is the shape of ammonia molecule according to this VBT or particularly sp3 hybridization? See here, ammonia, its formula is NH3. Its formula is NH3. So central atom is the nitrogen. Hybridization is possible only at the central atom. So nitrogen, atomic number 7. So its outermost electronic configuration 2s2 2p3. I am writing box method. That is 2s orbital having 2 electrons, 2p orbital having 3 unpaired electrons. This is the ground state electronic configuration of nitrogen. So all these orbitals, this s orbital, it is a px orbital, py orbital and pz orbital. This is s orbital. All these orbitals involved in hybridization. That too, one s orbital and 3 p orbitals, that gives sp3 hybridization. That means that is sp3 hybridization. So nitrogen involved in sp3 hybridization and produce 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals in tetrahedral shape. See here, this is the shape of tetrahedral. This is the tetrahedral shape. This is the tetrahedral shape, boys. So now I am writing orbitals on these dotted lines. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals. In this, see here, this s orbital contains a pair of electrons and remaining orbitals contains unpaired electrons. That means among these 4 orbitals, one orbital has a pair of electrons, remaining 3 have unpaired electrons. So this is the orbital with the paired electrons. So one orbital having paired electrons, remaining 3 have unpaired electrons. 1, 2, 3. 3 unpaired electrons. It is about nitrogen. So nitrogen involved in sp3 hybridization. So among 4 orbitals, one orbital having paired electrons and remaining 3 orbitals having unpaired electrons. Those orbitals with unpaired electrons are involved in bond formation with s orbital of hydrogen. See here. So there are 3 hydrogens. Those hydrogens are here having s orbitals. So this is hydrogen. This is also hydrogen with its s orbital. Hydrogen with its s orbital. Hydrogen, hydrogen. Here it is sp3 orbital. It is s orbital. The bond formed is sigma sp3 s bond. It is also sigma sp3s. sigma sp3 s bond. That means, so see here, nitrogen bonded with three bonds, three hydrogens like this, but one orbital having a pair of electrons. It is the pair of electrons having no bond formation. So this pair is called as lone paired electrons. Lone paired electrons. So we expected the shape of, so that is the shape of ammonia expected one, that is tetrahedral end with bond angle 109 degrees 28 minutes. This is expected end. But actual shape is pyramidal shape, in particular trigonal pyramidal shape. Trigonal pyramidal shape with bond angle 107 degrees. With bond angle 107 degrees. So now what is the shape of this ammonia? It is the trigonal pyramidal end. Trigonal pyramidal. Bond angle is 107 degrees end. In clear, 107 degrees 11 minutes. So clearly 107 degrees 11 minutes. So this is actual, but we expected tetrahedral ending. So that means hybridization failed to explain the shape of this ammonia molecule. And why it is? It is not explained by ammonia. It is failed to explain. It is not explained by our hybridization. It is failed. Hybridization failed to explain the shape of this ammonia molecule. So this concept is explained in Vesper theory concept. So please wait, I will explain later in a Vesper theory why this is shape is deviated from tetrahedral to trigonal pyramidal. That means hybridization also fails to explain the shape of ammonia-like molecules. But nitrogen in ammonia is sp3 hybridization. Nitrogen in ammonia is sp3 hybridization. But the shape is the trigonal pyramidal, not the tetrahedral. Bond angle is 107 11 degrees, 107 degrees 11 minutes, but not 109 degrees 28 minutes. So this is wrong, my dear boys. This concept is correct. Why it is not? Why it doesn't explain? So later the shape of this ammonia we will explain on the basis of Vesper theory. Please wait. After completion of hybridization, I will start that Vesper theory concept. So there is a failure in Vesper theory in the explanation of structure of ammonia molecule. Okay. Now another one again. That is water molecule. This one also completed, boys. Now water molecule. Water molecule. Here the central atom is oxygen. Oxygen connected with two bonds, two hydrogens. That is the central atom is oxygen. Central atom is equal to oxygen. Its atomic number Z is equal to H. Its electronic configuration, outermost electronic configuration is 2s2 2p4. 2s2 2p4 is the outermost electronic configuration. Now I am writing box method. It is a 2s orbital with a pair of electrons. It is a 2s orbital. Now 2p orbitals any. So there is a 2p subshell contains three orbitals. That is a px orbital, py orbital, pz orbital. Pz orbital. So p4 means 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now it is a 2s orbital. Okay, so this s orbital and these three p orbitals are all involved in hybridization. That is sp3 hybridization. sp3 hybridization. So in these orbitals, two orbitals have pair of electrons, two orbitals have unpaired electrons. So totally the central atom oxygen in water molecule involved in sp3 hybridization. Note down that produces 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals in tetrahedral shape, just like in your methane and also in benzene. These are the 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals of carbonyl. Sorry, oxygen. These are the 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals. In this sp3 hybrid orbitals, so 2 orbitals have pair of electrons, 2 orbitals have unpaired electrons. So see here, so these are the orbitals with paired electrons. So these are the orbitals with unpaired electrons. These are the orbitals with unpaired electrons. So that electronic configuration also represented here. So hybrid orbitals can also participate in Hund's rule, Pauli's rule, all these rules. Okay. So 2 orbitals having paired electrons, 2 orbitals having unpaired electrons. Only those hybrid orbitals having unpaired electrons involved in bond formation with hydrogen. So therefore, how many hydrogens are here? 2 hydrogens are there. So these are the 2 hydrogens with s orbitals. With along with its electron, it is hydrogen. It is another hydrogen with its electron. Okay. Here the bond is, this is the bond, this is the bond. That means this bond is in angular shape. So only bonded that is bonded orbitals we consider the shapes. Therefore, this is the bonded orbital, this is the bonded orbital, this is angular shape, it is not tetrahedral. So these are the electron pairs. So this is lone paired electron, this is lone paired electron, not involved in bond formation but present in oxygen outermost orbital. So we expected, because here it is sp3 hybridization. So sp3, because it is sp3 hybridization, we expected shape tetrahedral. We expected tetrahedral shape with bond angle 109 degrees 28 minutes. 109 degrees 28 minutes angle. But so this is not correct in case of water molecule. So the correct sp3 is correct. So bond angle, that is shape, is angular shape or inverted V shape. Inverted V shape with bond angle 104 degrees. With bond angle 104 degrees. Okay. So okay, 104 degrees 31 minutes. Okay, accepted it. Okay. So why it is not tetrahedral? Why it is angular shape? Okay. Okay. Another one, or bent molecule. Bent shape. Accepted. Why it is not tetrahedral? Why this is angular or bent shape? So that is not explained by hybridization. It is also the failure of hybridization. So hybridization not explains clearly the shape of ammonia and water molecules. There are exemptions, but most of the molecules hybridizations are clearly explained by this hybridization. See, my dear boys. So in ammonia molecule, 1 lone pair is there. In water molecule, 2 lone pairs are there. But in methane or ethane, no lone pairs are there. That means these lone pairs, so presence of these lone pairs, the shape is deviated. That means actual shape is not existed. So that means these lone pairs influences the shape of the molecule. So that is not identified by that Lewis, that is Pauling. So hybridization not explained this water molecule shape. So but the hybridization in H2O is sp3. The actual shape is angular or bent molecule with bond angle 109 degrees for 30 minutes, 30 or 31 minutes. Okay. So this is about water molecule. So here also hybridization fails to explain the structure. Here also hybridization fails to explain the structure. That is the shape of the molecule. Okay. So now, this is about sp3 hybridization. This is about sp3 hybridization. Now, our topic is next hybridization is sp3 dehybridization. sp3 dehybridization. What is this sp3 dehybridization? Intermixing of one s orbital has spherical shape, 3 p orbitals have dumbbell shape, and one d orbital. D orbital has double dumbbell shape. Intermixing of one s orbital, three p orbitals, one d orbital. So that means one s, three p, one d. That hybridization is called as sp3d hybridization or dsp3 hybridization. Both are same boys. sp3d hybridization or dsp3 hybridization. So that means how many orbitals are involved in mixing? 1 plus 3, 4 plus 1, 5 orbitals involved in mixing. How many new orbitals will produce? That means, no doubt, number of orbitals mixed is equal to number of orbitals reproduced. So 5 new orbitals are produced. All those 5 new orbitals are not individual, they are in combined state. So in combined, a particular shape is available. So that is the shape of the hybridization. So see here, so total 5 new orbitals will produce. So this hybridization gives 5 new sp3d hybrid orbitals. So 5 new sp3 hybrid orbitals. So these 5 orbitals are arranged themselves in a trigonal bipyramidal shape. So trigonal bipyramidal shape. So whenever sp3d hybridization is there, so therefore the shape of the molecule is trigonal bipyramidal shape. Trigonal bipyramidal shape. See here, total 5. 3 orbitals on the plane, both the plane, 1 orbital above the plane, another orbital inside the plane, inside the board end. So see here, this is a trigonal bipyramidal shape. So this is a trigonal. So this is on both the plane. 1 orbital above the plane, 1 orbital below the plane. 1 orbital above the plane, 1 orbital below the plane. I am drawing here, see here. One, two. These are the 3 orbitals within the plane, both the plane boys. Now, 1 orbital, that is I am drawing with red pen, see here. 1 orbital above the plane and 1 orbital below the plane. 1 orbital above the plane, 1 orbital below the plane. These are the 5 orbitals. So these are the 5 orbitals. So see here, those orbitals present within the plane are called as equatorial orbitals. Equatorial orbitals. So this one, these 3 orbitals are equatorial orbitals. So above and below the plane of this equatorial orbitals, that means this red lobe and blue lobe end, these are axial orbitals. Equatorial orbitals, axial orbitals. So above and below the plane is axial. So within the plane, 3 are there, that is equatorial. Equatorial. Okay. So this is a trigonal bipyramidal shape here. So within the plane, the angle between the orbitals is 120 degrees. The angle between the orbitals is 120 degrees. Okay. Now, above and below the plane, that is, see here. Here the angle is 90 degrees, boys. Angle is 90 degrees. So between these 2 orbitals, that is red lobe and blue lobe, that is axial orbitals. The angle between these 2 orbitals is 180 degrees. So the angle between axial orbitals is 180. The angle between 2 equatorial orbitals is 120. The angle between axial to equatorial is 90. The angle between axial to equatorial is 90. So these are the bond angles. These are the bond angles. Now, every sp hybrid orbital. So here also S character, P character, D character are there. So total 5 and 5 ending. So divide 100 with 5. that is 20 N. That means S 3P 1D. That means one fraction, that is S has 20%. So 3 into 20 that is 60% P character. So 1 into 20 20% D character. So in sp3d hybridization, 20% S character, 60% P character, 60% P character, and 20% D character. This is the percentage. In fractions, it is 1 by 5 fraction, it is 3 by 5 fraction, it is 1 by 5 fraction. It is 1 by 5 fraction. So this is the percentages of different orbitals. That means, so this is the hybrid orbital, my dear boy. This hybrid orbital is the combination of S, P, and D. That means S percentage is there, P percentage is there, D percentage is there. So in this hybrid orbital, S is 20%, P is 60%, D is 20%. So it has all these three percentages are available. All these three combinations has that is the orbital with all these three combinations. So that is the S percentage, P percentage, D percentage. So 20, 60, and 20% of the S, P, D percentages in sp3d hybrid orbital. sp3d hybrid orbital. So whenever sp3d hybridization takes place, the shape is trigonal, bipyramidal shape, trigonal bipyramidal shape, and bond angle. So that is 120 degrees, 90 degrees, and 180 degrees. So 120 between the axial orbitals. So 90 axial in axial and equatorial. Sorry. So 120 is between equatorial orbitals. So 90 is between axial and equatorial. 180 is equatorial and that is axial and axial. Axial and axial. So these are the bond angles. So the molecule, that is any molecule having this hybridization must have trigonal bipyramidal shape, and these are the bond angles. These are the bond angles. So those who want screenshot, please take a screenshot. So it is important. So now I'll explain the concept with an example. So most please take a screenshot. Next, example for this sp3d hybridization. Example for this sp3d hybridization. What is that? That is the best example for this one is PCl5 molecule. The best example for this molecule is the best for this hybridization is PCl5 molecule. Now I am explaining the shape of PCl5 molecule with the help of sp3d hybridization. Number of times asked to be divided by. Now the shape of PCl5 molecule. PCl5, it is called as phosphorus pentachloride. Phosphorus pentachloride. So here the phosphorus, the central atom is central atom. Because hybridization is possible only at the central atom. The central atom is phosphorus. Central atom is phosphorus. Its atomic number Z is equal to 15 Ni. Its outermost electronic configuration. Outermost electronic configuration in ground state is equal to 3s2 3p5. Sorry, 3s2 3p3. Outermost ground state electronic configuration is 3s2 3p3. I am writing box method, boys. So because outermost orbit is third orbit, there is a d orbital but having no electrons. 3d 0 also exists, but no electrons are there. So 3d orbital exists, but no electrons are there. Okay. Now, so box method. It is a 3s orbital with a pair of electrons. It is a 3p orbital with 3 unpaired electrons. 3. Next, d orbitals also there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 d orbitals. It is 3d orbitals. 3d orbitals. So with no electrons. It is ground state outermost electronic configuration. Ground state outermost electronic configuration for phosphorus. Ground state outermost electron, but having only 3 unpaired electrons, but phosphorus can form 5 bonds here for that purpose. So here excitation takes place. So this s electron is jumping from s orbital to d orbital. S orbital to d orbital. So it is the excited state, not ground state. Now it is excited state, outermost electronic configuration. Excited state. Now it has 5 unpaired electrons. So that's why it can form 5 bonds. So all these orbitals, this s orbital, these 3 p orbitals, this d orbital are involved in hybridization. That is sp3d hybridization. All the orbitals having unpaired electrons are involved in the hybridization. That is sp3d hybridization. And form 5 sp3d hybrid orbitals in trigonal bipyramidal shape. See here. So this is the shape of it is. These are the orbitals within the plane. Within the plane, these are axial, the equatorial orbitals, and one orbital above the plane. One orbital below the plane. One orbital above the plane, one orbital below the plane end. Okay, this is from phosphorus. This is from phosphorus end. So 5 sp3d hybrid orbitals are there. So each orbital having unpaired electron, one unpaired electron. So these are the unpaired electrons in it. 5 unpaired electrons are there. This is from phosphorus. Okay, so these are the directions. So this is orbital electrons, orbital directions. These are the orbital directions. So this is about phosphorus. These orbitals are involved in overlapping with pure p orbitals of chlorine. Chlorine involved in bond formation. From chlorine side, pure p orbitals are involved. So just a minute. Just a minute, boy. Okay. Is this green visible to you? Tell me. Is this green visible to you? The mixed orbital is d z square orbital, boy. The mixed d orbital is d z square. You don't worry. So this is from chlorine side, boys. So it's unpaired electron. Another chlorine atom, it's unpaired electron. Another chlorine is unpaired electron. Chlorine atom with unpaired electron. Chlorine atom with unpaired electron. These are from 5 chlorines. 5 chlorines. So central, these orbitals are hybrid orbitals from phosphorus. these orbitals involving linear overlapping. This is the direction of the bond. This is the direction of the bonds. So these are the directions of the bond. Directions of the bond. Okay. Now it is a sigma bond. It is a sigma bond. So that sigma bond it is sigma bond. It is sp3d orbital and it is chlorine. So sp3d and it is a p orbital of chlorine. Sigma sp3dp. This is also sigma sp3dp. This is sigma sp3dp. It is sigma sp3dp. So all these orbitals, all these bonds are sigma sp3dp bonds. So see here, there is central phosphorus atom. First, this phosphorus is connected with the 3 chlorines, axial chlorines. And 1 chlorine above the plane and 1 chlorine below the plane. 1 chlorine above the plane, 1 chlorine. So these two are same and it is orbital picture, that is the bond length picture. So both these are same, but so in your IP exams, this picture is very, very important. You should write this, draw this picture. Okay. Now, so this is equatorial, this is equatorial, this is equatorial. This is axial, this is axial. Equatorial, axial. So, dear boys, equatorial bonds have less length than axial bonds. That means equatorial bond lengths are less and axial bond lengths are more. This bond length is less and this bond length is higher. So this is the variation in PCl5 molecule. Here the bond angles are, see here. So between equatorial and equatorial, it is 120 degrees within the plane. Between axial and axial, it is 180 degrees above and below the plane. Between axial and equatorial, between axial and equatorial, it is 90 degrees. It is 90 degrees. These are the bond angles. The shape of this PCl5 molecule is trigonal. So it is a trigonal, one above and one below. That is a bipyramidal shape. Trigonal bipyramidal shape. So that is the PCl5 molecule. So bipyramidal. See here. This is the pyramid. So 1, 2, 3. So that green dot is one pyramid. That green dot is equal to one pyramid. Now I am drawing one more. See here. This blue dot is equal to another pyramid. Blue dot is equal to another pyramid. So trigonal, above one pyramid, below one pyramid, that is why it is called as trigonal bipyramidal. Trigonal bipyramidal. See here, I am drawing with red pen. So these 3 chlorines with upper chlorine, these 3 chlorines with lower chlorine. Okay, that is the trigonal bipyramidal shape. You can write just like this, simply. This is P, chlorine, chlorine, chlorine. These 3 chlorines within the plane, 1 chlorine above, 1 chlorine below. It is sufficient. It is sufficient. So now the shape of PCl5 molecule is a trigonal bipyramidal shape with bond angles. So 120 degrees within the plane between axial bonds. So between axial and equatorial, it is 90 degrees. Between equatorial and equatorial, it is 180 degrees. 180 degrees. So this is the PCl5 molecule and sp3 dehybridation. sp3 dehybridation. So next one. In this case, the mixed orbital, d orbital is d jet square. One of the d orbitals involved in the mixing, that is d jet square orbital involved here in the mixing end due to the formation of sp3 dehybridation. Next, sp3d2 hybridization. sp3d2 hybridization. So that means mixing of one s orbital, three p orbitals. It is s orbital, it is a p orbital, and two d orbitals. Two d orbitals. Those two d orbitals are dx, x square y square, dz squared. Okay, so one s orbital, three p orbitals, two d orbitals. So total 1 plus 3 plus 2 ra. Total 6 orbitals are involved in mixing. Total 6 orbitals are mixed in it. So now 6 orbitals are reproduced in it. These are called as, these are nothing but 6 hybrid orbitals called sp3d2 hybrid orbitals. These 6 orbitals are called as sp3d2 hybrid orbitals because these are produced in sp3d2 hybridization. Okay, so how many new orbitals are reproduced? That is 6. So all these 6 orbitals so align in a particular shape. So that is the shape of sp3d2 hybridization. Now see here, what is the shape of those orbitals? See here, out of 6, 4 within the plane. So it is 300 by. Let us take this one as a square. This is a square. So within the plane, 4 orbitals, 4 sp3d orbitals. One, two, three, 4. Within the plane, 4 any. So between any two orbitals, the angle is 90 degrees. And one orbital above the plane, one orbital below the plane. Above the plane, like this. Like this. Below the plane, inside. So those are I am representing here with the blue. Blue arrow. Okay, this is equatorial orbital, equatorial orbital, equatorial orbital, equatorial orbital. 4 equatorial orbitals, 2 are axial orbitals. This is axial orbital, this is axial. Above and below the plane are taken as axial bonds. So those orbitals gives these axial orbitals gives axial bonds, equatorial orbitals gives equatorial bonds. Okay, so this is nothing but octahedral shape. The shape is octahedral shape. Octahedral shape. So see here, the bond angle between any two axial bonds is 90 degrees, and between axial and equatorial, axial and equatorial also 90 degrees. Also 90 degrees between axial and axial. Between axial and axial, it is 120 degrees. So these are the angles, 90, 90, 120. So between equatorial orbitals, 90. Axial and equatorial, 90 because perpendicular end. So between axial and axial, it is 180. Between axial and axial, it is 180 degrees. 180 degrees. So this is the octahedral shape. Whenever a molecule involved in sp3d2 hybridization, it is arranged tetrahedrally. So these orbitals involved in bond formation. See here, in every hybrid orbital, here hybrid orbital is indicated with one big lobe and small lobe. It contains S percentage, P percentage, D percentage. All these 3 percentages are available. So here 100 is divided into 6. That is 16.6. Here one s orbital, that is 16.6%, 3 p orbitals 3 into 16.6%. So 2d orbitals 2 into 16.6%. That means S has 16.6%, P has almost 48, that is almost 50%, boys. D has 16 plus 16, 32, 33.33. So these are the percentages. These are the percentages in sp3d hybrid orbital. It is sp3d hybrid orbital. In this sp3d hybrid orbital, so S percentage, P percentage, D percentage are like that. Like that. So these are the percentages. Okay. So that means it has total by 6 means it has 1 by 6 fraction. It has 3 by 6 fraction. It has 2 by 6 fraction. 1 by 6, 3 by 6 means half ending. That is why it is 50%. So 2 by 6, 1/3, almost like that. Okay. So this is about percentages in sp3. So now what is the shape of this sp3d2 hybridization? That is octahedral shape. Octahedral shape. So which is also called as, this is square above 1 and below 1. So square 1 pyramid above, 1 pyramid below only. So that is square bipyramidal is commonly called as octahedral. Square bipyramidal is commonly called as octahedral. The best example for this sp3d2 hybridization is SF6 molecule. Sulfur hexafluoride. Sulfur hexafluoride is the example for sp3d2 hybridization in our syllabus. So now what happened in sulfur hexafluoride? So hybridization is always at the central atom. Here the central atom is sulfuride. Here the sulfur is the central atom that is involved in hybridization. That particular hybridization is sp3d2 hybridization. See here. Central atom sulfur, its atomic number Z is equal to 16. Its outermost electronic configuration 3s2 3p4. Outermost electronic configuration 3s2 3p4. Its box method, it is 3s orbital. 3d also there is no electron set. It is a 3s orbital, it has 2 electrons. 3p orbital, it has 4 electrons, and 3d orbital also there. There is no electron set. It is a ground state electronic configuration. So, but it has only 2 unpaired electrons. But sulfur can form 6 bonds here. For that purpose, we need 6 unpaired electrons. So that is why this electron is going to be excited. So it is the first excitation. It is first excitation. Only we have 4 unpaired electrons, not sufficient. We want 6 ending. So that is why second excitation is also possible. That is why here it is involved. Okay. So this is S orbital, these are P orbitals, these 2 D orbitals. That is dx square y square, dz square are involved in overlapping. So overall, this is involved in sp3d2 hybridization. Those 2 D orbitals are dx square y square and dz square. Okay. So now sulfur gives 6 sp3d2 hybrid orbitals in octahedral shape. So this is square, just like in previous. So for equality, I am drawing like this. No need to draw. But if you draw this, it is equalized and all are in equal shape and no one is more, no one is less. So these are the 4 sp3d2 orbitals. Each orbital having unpaired electron, 1 unpaired electron. So these are equivalent orbitals. This is These two are axial orbitals. Everyone has one unpaired electron in it. One unpaired electron. So all these orbitals involved in overlapping with p orbitals of F and 6 fluorine. Each fluorine has one unpaired electron in p orbital. So that p orbital is involved in overlapping. See here. So fluorine p orbital. Fluorine p orbital. Fluorine p orbital. Fluorine p orbital. These are the axial, equatorial bonds, my dear boys, because equatorial orbital is involved in overlapping that. Okay, so this is the directional nature. All these are on the axis. Bonds are formed. That is, all these are sigma bonds. All these are sigma bonds. That is the sigma sp3d2 and p orbital. All these are sigma sp3d2 and p. So this is also sigma sp3d2p and this is also sigma sp3d2p orbital. Okay, so these are the orbitals. Now remaining two also involved in overlapping. So this gives, this is also fluorine, this is axial bond, this is involved in overlapping, this is also axial bond. This is fluorine. So these are the axial bonds. Now it is central atom sulfur. So shape is octahedral. So between equatorial, that is 90 degrees, axial and equatorial 90 degrees, axial and axial 180 degrees. It is 180 degrees. Therefore, bond angle is 90 degrees, and 180 degrees in bond angles. So it is the shape of SF6 molecule. And the hybridization is sp3d2 hybridization. Whenever a molecule involved in sp3d2 hybridization, automatically the shape is octahedral. The shape is octahedral. So this is the way to explain different types of hybridations, in particular sp, sp2, sp3, sp3d2, and sp3d8. So these are the hybridations in our syllabus. These are the hybridations in our syllabus. Very, very important. Okay. Okay, boys. So now we are taking the drawbacks in tetra, that is the drawbacks in our hybridization, that is it is failed to explain the shape of water molecule and ammonia molecule. Okay. So there is another theory to explain the shapes of these molecules, such type of molecules, that is valency shell electron pair repulsion theory. It is valency shell electron pair repulsion theory. Valency shell electron pair repulsion theory. Okay, so valency shell, VSEPRN. Valency shell electron pair repulsion theory, which is short theory, Vesper theory. Okay, so who proposed this Vesper theory? That is, this theory was proposed by Sidgwick and Powell. Sidgwick and Powell, that is proposed this concept, and it developed by theory was developed by Gillespie and Nyholm. So try to mind it. Proposed by Sidgwick and Powell and developed by Gillespie and Nyholm. Okay. So in this theory, we consider we consider lone pairs and bond pairs only. And repulsion, repulsion between, just a minute, here we consider repulsion between lone pair, bond pair, and bond pair. There are three types of repulsions. My dear boys, see here. The valence shell contains electron pairs. Between these electron pairs, there exist repulsions. Those repulsions are considered to explain the shapes of the molecules. So those repulsions are considered to explain the shapes of the molecules. So that is, repulsions are considered. What type of repulsions are exist? So see, my dear boys, in methane, there is a tetrahedral shape. This is methane molecule, sp3 hybridization, already I told to you. So this is the bond, this is the bond, this is the bond, this is the bond. Carbon has 4 bond pairs. No lone pair exists. Carbon has 4 bond pairs. No lone pair exists. That means here, in methane molecule, 4 bond pairs are exist. Only 4 bond pairs are exist. That means between this pair, this pair, this pair, this pair. So automatically, so only bond pair. So these bond pairs, see my dear boys, A and B, along A and B, there is a bond. So there is a bond pair. This bond pair is attracted by both the A atom and B atom. That means this bond pair is almost something far away from the central atom. Far away from the central atom, so utmost distance. So between bond pair, there is a repulsion. Bond pair, there is a repulsion. Bond pair, they are all bond pairs. So those bond pair repulsions apart from central atom, because those are also attracted by other bonded atoms. That's why something more distance from the central atom, Therefore, less repulsions are exist. So if the molecule having, if the molecule having only bond pairs, less repulsions are there. So only bond pairs, less repulsions are there. That means they follow hybridization. That means if the molecule having all our bond pairs, automatically the shape follows hybridization. So shape of those molecules is according to hybridization. So if the molecule having both lone pairs and bond pairs, what are lone pairs? Those are the electron pairs present in the outermost orbit having no bonded electrons. That is non-bonded electron pairs. Bond pair means, so that is the electron pair involved in bond formation. So molecule, central atom has both lone pairs and bond pairs may be possible. So just like in our ammonia molecule, see here, in ammonia molecule, there is 3 hydrogens with a lone pair. Here is a bond pairs, 3 bond pairs, and 1 lone pair. That means at the central atom, 1 lone pair, 3 bond pairs are possible. Okay, so this type of molecules, there is a repulsion cell. So these repulsions dominate these repulsion cells. So here, what is the possibility? So this lone pair and this bond pair, there is a repulsion. So this lone pair, bond pair, this lone pair, bond pair, lone pair, bond pair, repulsions are there. Between them, bond pair repulsions are also possible. And here, 2 types of repulsions are exist. Bond pair repulsions, bond pair, lone pair repulsions. These repulsions disrupt the shape of the molecule and finally leads to a stable form. So in that, a particular stable structure is exist. So because of these repulsions, and that is why the NH3 molecule has no tetrahedral shape, it is in pyramidal shape, and because of these repulsions. So these repulsions are considered here. So both lone pair and bond pair repulsions. So that means central atom has only bond pair condition, or lone pair and bond pair conditions both are exist. Only bond pair are there, that follows hybridization. So if lone pair and bond pair are there, so that doesn't follow hybridization. So that type of molecules follows valence shell electron pair repulsion theory. So every molecule follows this one, but those repulsions are considered. So if repulsions are more radiation and repulsions are less radiation, their original pair. So how do we see here? Here are some postulates now. Some postulates. What are those postulates? Every molecule having at the central atom of the molecule, every central atom of the molecule contains both central atom of molecule contains only bond pairs or bond pairs plus lone pairs. Only bond pairs that follows hybridization. Both lone pairs and bond pairs not follows hybridization. That follows hybridization, not follows hybridization because of repulsion. What type of repulsions are there? So here, next point, see here. Let us take an example. With the example, I am explaining the concept NaH3. So just a minute. See, boys. So listen carefully with the tetrahedral structure. This is tetrahedral structure. Our sp3 molecule. Central atom is, that is the atom at the center. At the center, this is the center. Here carbon exists in methane. In ammonia, it is nitrogen exists. In oxygen, there oxygen H2O oxygen exists. Okay. At anywhere, it is a tetrahedral shape. It is tetrahedral shape. For example, these are at the end hydrogens, and this is the carbon, hydrogen and carbon. So there is bond pair, there is bond pair, there is bond pair, there is bond pair. So the distance between them are equal at any distance. So anywhere the distance is identical. So anywhere. That means the repulsion between the bond pair and bond pair and bond pair and bond pair, bond pair, bond pair, bond pair, bond pair, all repulsions are same because they are equidistant. For example, if one of the bond is replaced with a lone pair, just a minute. So if one of the bond is replaced with a lone pair, so this bond will be treated as a lone pair. This bond. Okay, so this bottle, this is lone pair. This lone pair is attracted only with the central atom. Central atom is which is at the middle of the molecule, having more valency, which is connected with other atoms. Okay, so this lone pair is attracted only by central atom. That means the distance is decreased. That means this lone pair occupies more space on the central atom than that of lone pair, than that of bond pair. Bond pair occupies less space, lone pair occupies more space at the central atom. Because of that, so actually these are the conditions. So this is lone pair. Here is lone pair and bond pair. Identify the distance, lone pair and bond pair. If this is a bond pair, identify the distance. In previous case, the distance is more. But now it is the distance less distance, more repulsions are there. That means this lone pair is a heavier one. That is why it pushes this bond pair like this. Pushes everywhere. That means it has no bond. Now the shape is pyramidal shape. Now the shape is pyramidal. It doesn't create the shape. Now the remaining is pyramidal shape. That is why ammonia molecule has a pyramidal shape. Because of repulsion between this lone pair and this bond pair. Between bond pair, between lone pair, there are repulsions. All these repulsions finally give a shape that is called as a pyramidal shape. There, minimum repulsions are there. So that is the shape of the molecule. So therefore, NH3 molecule has pyramidal shape because of consideration of this lone pair bond pair repulsion. So in NH3 molecule, nitrogen has 3 bonds and a lone pair. Lone pair occupies more space on central atom. Lone pairs on central atom. Okay. Ca means central atom. Number of times I am repeating. Ca, central atom. So occupies more space on central atom. Central atom. Bond pairs, less space in. Less space is occupied. So because of that, here lone pair repulsions. So here is lone pair repulsions, and there is a bond pair repulsions are possible. There is a bond pair. So here in ammonia molecule, lone pair repulsion. Sorry, lone pair bond pair repulsions, because it is lone pair, it is bond pair. Between them, bond pair repulsions are possible. Lone pair repulsions are more than that of lone pair bond pair repulsions. Because of these repulsions, the shape is deviated from tetrahedral. Actually, tetrahedral shape we expected. It is not deviated from tetrahedral to pyramidal shape. Tetrahedral to pyramidal shape. So in ammonia, nitrogen is in sp3 hybridization, but the shape is tetrahedral, pyramidal, not a tetrahedral shape. Because of lone pair. Because of lone pair. So see here. This is our ammonia molecule. We expected this structure. Okay. So this is the hydrogen atom. This is nitrogen. These are hydrogen. So this is the electron pair without bond formation. This is lone pair. This is bond pair. This is bond pair. This is also bond pair. This lone pair, because this is attracted only by nitrogen, this is strongly attracted towards the central atom. That means the shape that occupies more space on nitrogen, on central atom. That means that is why the new shape is like this. So it is not actually. Now it is available because it is attracted by the strongly attracted by the central atom. Therefore, the situation is like this. This is the lone pair situation. This is the lone pair. Now, this lone pair and this bond pair, there is a distance when compared to previous. When compared to previous, in previous situation, long distance, but it is less distance. Less is distance, more is the repulsion between the electron pairs. That's why this bond pair is pushed like that. This one also pushed one in. This is also pushed. So that means there is no this pair. So this gives a pyramidal shape. So what type of repulsion are there? This is lone pair. This is bond pair. Between them, lone pair, bond pair repulsions. Between these two, bond pair, because this is bond pair, this is bond pair. Between these two, bond pair. Between these two, lone pair, bond pair. Between these two, bond pair. All these repulsions finally gives less condition at pyramidal shape. At pyramidal shape, therefore, the shape of ammonia molecule is like this with a lone pair. It is a pyramidal shape. Why this is going to pyramidal, not in tetrahedral? Because of repulsion. These repulsions dominate. So these repulsions dominate structure. Therefore, so actually in ammonia, the hybridization is sp3Ne. Its structure is tetrahedral structure, but its shape is deviates from the structure, that is pyramidal structure. Pyramidal structure. See, my dear boys, structure and shape both are same. Sorry, structure and shape are different. Structure means that is the expected structure with respect to hybridization. That is the expected one with respect to hybridization. So here NH3 molecule, sp3 hybridization. So tetrahedral structure we expected, but because of deviation, the structure is deviated from new one. So that is finally stable one, which is called as structure. So therefore, ammonia, the structure is tetrahedral, the shape is pyramidal. The hybridization is sp3 hybridization. So both structure and shape not the same. But in neither case, which is in sp3 hybridization, so its structure is tetrahedral and shape also tetrahedral, because repulsions in previous and now same end. So in case of methane, tetrahedral and tetrahedral both are there. That means the structure and shape are same in case of methane. But in case of pyramidal, that is our ammonia molecule. So structure is tetrahedral, shape is pyramidal. So shape means finally existed one. Structure means initially we expected one. Initially we expected tetrahedral, but finally existed one is pyramidal. That final one is shape. Initially we expected one is structure, and therefore ammonia. So what is the shape of ammonia molecule? Pyramid. What is the shape of ammonia molecule? Tetrahedral. Structure of ammonia molecule is tetrahedral. Shape of ammonia molecule is pyramidal. Why? The structure is deviate from tetrahedral. Shape is deviate from tetrahedral to pyramidal. Why the shape deviates from tetrahedral to pyramidal? Because of existence of lone pair bond pair repulsions, bond pair repulsions in ammonia molecule. According to Vesper theory, the shape is deviated so from tetrahedral to pyramidal. From tetrahedral to pyramidal. Here we consider repulsions between the bond pairs and lone pairs, which are present in the outermost shell of the central atom. Repulsions between. Now I am taking water molecule. Water molecule. H2 So this is we expected. Tetrahedral shape. We expected. This is central oxygen. This is lone pair. This is lone pair. This is unpaired. Unpaired one connected with hydrogen. It is hydrogen. So now this is bond pair. This is bond pair. This is lone pair. This is lone pair. Therefore, in H2O, two lone pairs, two bond pairs are existent. Two in H2O molecule, oxygen has two lone pairs, two bond pairs. That is an oxygen every time we are representing two electron pairs. That is lone pairs of electrons. So already I told that lone pairs occupies more space than that of bond pairs. That is right. So this is the new shape of this orbital. Now this is the new shape of this orbital. This orbital. Okay. Now these two are very near to each other. That's why here between them, see here, between these two lone pair repulsions are possible. Between these two lone pair bond pair repulsions are possible. Between these two bond pair repulsions are possible. Between these two lone pair bond pair repulsions. Between these two lone pair bond pair. Between these two lone pair bond pair. That means here the possible repulsions are lone pair repulsion, lone pair bond pair repulsion, bond pair repulsions. So all these three types of repulsions are existent. So practically we proved that these are very near to each other, therefore the repulsions are very high. These are far away from each other, repulsions are low. So these are the repulsions. That means the order of repulsions is lone pair repulsions greater than lone pair repulsions greater than bond pair repulsions. And this is the order of repulsions now. So these repulsions deviate the shape of that water molecules from tetrahedral to V shape or inverted V shape. V shape or inverted V shape. It is all due to all these repulsions. These repulsions deviate the shape of the water molecule from tetrahedral to V shape. Shape in water molecule, the structure is that is expected on any tetrahedral. Shape is V shape or inverted V shape. So that means shape is deviated from tetrahedral to V shape. It is all due to repulsions between them. Okay, so this is about your why water molecule has V shape, why that ammonia molecule has pyramidal shape. All these due to the repulsions. All these due to the repulsions. Next, see my boys. So between any two atoms, there may be a single bond, or there may be a double bond, or there may be a triple bond. Okay, so double bond and triple bond are also considered as a single bond. So these pairs are called as super pairs. Double bond pairs and triple bond pairs are considered as super pairs. That means two bond pairs, three bond pairs. So two bond pairs is nothing but one parent. We treat it here as one parent. Three bond pairs also we treat it as one parent. But those are super pairs. It is super pairs. These are super pairs. These super pairs gives more repulsions. These super pairs gives more repulsions. This is another postulate in our Vesper theory concept. So finally, according to Vesper theory, the molecule has different shapes because of repulsions. What type of repulsions are possible? Repulsions are lone pair repulsions, lone pair bond pair repulsions, bond pair repulsions are possible. So these repulsions deviate actual shape, structure. That is the actual shape. So from expected to the final cases. So all these are according to your Vesper theory. Here lone pair, bond pair repulsions. Different types of repulsions are considered. Now finally, what is the order of types of repulsions? Lone pair repulsions are greater than, lone pair repulsions are greater than, bond pair repulsions. So these are the repulsion cases. So by taking all these postulates, we can give a chart. So based on that, so see here. So finally, the final conclusion, I'm giving a chart telling. So that is the final shapes of the molecules. So hybridization, all these are included here. See boys, for example, that is serial number of bond pairs, number of lone pairs on the central atom, total electron pairs, that is lone pairs plus bond pairs, hybridization of the central atom, shape and examples. Shape and examples. These are the columns wise. So number of bond pairs, number of lone pairs. Here molecule type, not it is the molecule type. Molecule type, bond pairs, lone pairs, total pairs, hybridization, shape with examples. Now a molecule of the type AB2, AB2 and AB2 means A bonded with 2B. 2B. So first of all, see here, I'm writing here. The molecule has 2 bond pairs, 0 lone pairs, total lone pairs plus bond pairs 2 plus 2, that is 2 plus 0, 0. Sorry, 2 plus 0, which is 2. So 2 bond pairs only exist. The molecule is of the type AB2 type molecule. So because it is 2, so it is sp hybridization. 2 means 1 plus 1, 1 plus 1, 2, sp hybridization. The shape is linear with an example BeCl2. BeCl2. Next, if molecule contains 3 pairs, 3 pairs. So 3 pairs, all these 3 pairs are bond pairs and 0 lone pairs, total 3 pairs, total 3 pairs. So total 3 pairs means it is AB2 type molecule. Sorry, it is AB3 type molecule. That is, now hybridization is sp3 hybridization. Because no lone pairs are there, no deviation, it is a trigonal planar shape. Example BCl3, BF3, like that. AB3 type molecule. Next, if molecule has 2 pairs, 1 lone pair, there is 1 lone pair. There is 1 lone pair. Now, 2 bond pairs, that is AB2 type. Lower indicate the letter E. E means 1 lone pair. E means 1 lone pair. Okay. So now 3, that is sp3. Sorry, 2 sp2. So it also sp So it is twice A2 with lone pair, that is angular shape. Angular shape. AB2 molecule with angular shape with 1 lone pair. So the best example for that one is AB2 with 1 lone pair. Okay, that is I will give example, please wait. Next, total 3. Now total 4. Total 4 are bond pairs, no lone pairs. That is AB4 type molecule. AB4 type molecule. Hybridization is 4 means 1s, 3p and sp3 hybridization. sp3 hybridization means tetrahedral shape. Tetrahedral shape. Example CH4, CCl4 like molecules. CH4, CCl4 molecules. Next, it is SO2 molecule. SO2 molecule is the example for that one. Next, total 4, but 3 bond pairs, 1 lone pair. 3 bond pairs, 1 lone pair, total 4. Total 4 means sp3 hybridization. sp3. Because it is 3 bond pairs, it is AB3, 1 lone pair EN. 1 lone pair is equal to 1 E. Now the shape is pyramidal shape. Pyramidal shape. The example is NH3, PH3 like molecules. NH3, PH3, PCl3. Those are pyramidal type molecules. Try to by heart this one. Next, total pairs 4, 2 lone pairs, 2 bond pairs. That is AB2, E2 type. E2 means 2 lone pairs. Total 4 means it is sp3 hybridization. So it is angular molecule. Angular molecule. Example is water. Example is water. Angular molecule. Next, total pairs 5 at the central atom. All are bond pairs, no lone pairs. It is AB5 type molecule. AB5 type molecule. Hybridization is sp3d hybridization. sp3d hybridization. So shape is trigonal bipyramidal shape and trigonal bipyramidal and trigonal bipyramidal shape molecule is PCl5. PCl5 is the example. Next, total pairs 5, but 4 bond pairs, 1 lone pair. Therefore, it is AB4E type molecule. AB4E type molecule. Now it is sp3 dehybridization. Shape is 1 lone pair, that is seesaw shape. Seesaw shape, that is SCl4 molecule. SCl4 molecule. So I will explain. Please wait, my dear boys. SCl4. Next, total pairs 5. So 3 bond pairs, 2 lone pairs. It is AB3E2 type. E2 type. Hybridization is sp3 dehybridization. So it is that is how many bond lone pairs? 2 lone pairs. 2 lone pairs is T shape. T shape, that is ClF3 molecule. ClF3 molecule. Next one. Next one. 3 bond pairs, 2 lone pairs. Next, 2 bond pairs, 3 lone pairs. Total 5 ending. Once again, it is sp3 dehybridization. The shape is, the molecule is AB2E3 type. It is linear molecule. Linear. It is XeF2 molecule. XeF2 molecule. So these are the different shapes. Right, boys, take a screenshot. It is very, very important. I don't send notes for this, so please take a screenshot. I will explain one by one. Wait. I will explain one by one, but please take a screenshot. Next, completed. I am going to clean. Yes, SnCl4 also accepted. SnCl2. Okay. So up to 5 completed in it. Now I am taking 6. Total electron pairs 6 and 6 are bond pairs, no lone pairs. That is AB6 type molecule. AB6 type molecule hybridization, sp3d2 hybridization. Shape is octahedral shape. Example, SF6 molecule. Example, SF6 molecule. So total pairs 6, 5 bond pairs, 1 lone pair. So that is AB5E. AB5E, that is sp3d2, which is square pyramidal shape. Square pyramidal shape. Square pyramidal shape. That is XeO-F4. XeO-F4 is the example. Next one. Total 6, 2 lone pairs, 4 bond pairs. Now it is AB4E2 type molecule. It is sp3d2 hybridization. sp3. It is square planar. Square planar. So the best example is XeF4. XeF4. Okay. So these are the requirements. Next, I am taking 7 Remaining are not in our syllabus. So 7 are bond pairs, 0 lone pairs. It is AB7 type molecule. It is sp3d3 hybridization. sp3d3. Now it is pentagonal bipyramidal shape. Pentagonal bipyramidal shape. Example IF7. Example IF7. Next, total 7 ra. 6 bond pairs, 1 lone pair. It is AB6 E type molecule. E means 1 lone pair, electron pair. It is also sp3d3 hybridization. So it is distorted octahedral shape. Example XZF6 molecule. XZF6 molecule. These are in our syllabus. Tomorrow I will explain one by one how these shapes are deviated. So right now I concluded here. So please take a screenshot. This is very, very important, very needed for us. Sir, how to find out these lone pairs and bond pairs? How to find out? I will explain tomorrow.